You're a performer.
I am a performer.
A born performer.
But I don't
You
talk
gotta
like
be on the
that.
stage.
I do. My life is the stage.
Thou, view, thou, view, thou, view, thou, view,
Vow to view, vow, 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 vow to view, vow to view each other's movies, even though we don't always like them, but it's okay because we love each other and movies too.
Hey everyone, welcome to Vow to View, your Doof Media podcast, all about marriage and the things we make each other watch. My name is Elise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together,
We're the Dailies. Yes, this is the weekly podcast where my wife Elise and I select a movie of our choosing, loosely tied to a theme of our choice, and then we make each other watch it. This week, it is part 2 of our theme over faces.
Ah, yes.
And we are watching my selection for the theme, 1997's masterpiece of action cinema, Face
Masterpiece?
Off.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Off, starring the great actors of our time, Nicolas Q. Cage and John
Is his
G.
middle name
Travolta.
starting with, does it start
I
with a
don't
Q?
know. I don't know.
Well, you can't say things like that without even having some quick-witted response.
I can say whatever I want.
What is his middle name?
Quentin.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
All it took was that. Any relation to Tarantino?
No. Why would a middle name and a first name be the same?
You never know.
Okay.
Strange people in Hollywood these days.
So we're going to talk all about Face Off. If I had to guess,
Yeah.
I would say Elisa's newest favorite movie. And then...
Oh, yeah, definitely the top 10 of my list.
Yeah. And then,
Definitely.
but first, we got to do a couple things.
We do?
And
Oh, yeah, we just finished this.
we got to
You're
jump.
so excited.
We got to jump. This is why we're out.
We gotta jump fences these days.
We're up so
to the
late
next,
tonight.
To the next topic. Just jumping right on over to The Bachelorette. I have expected you to fart again instead of barfing.
What do you mean again?
Bachelorette.
I don't do that. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I wish you thought it was disgusting and didn't do it.
Or at least it's time for the part of the show where we
Yep.
talk about the latest episode of The Bachelor, and this is the thing that I hate, but we do it every way, and it's
Yeah.
almost done. At least talk to
Yeah,
me
you know
about
what?
this
So,
week's
Scott,
episode.
this was the episode. This was the episode that they have been advertising all season, Scott. Guess what happened this episode?
Colton jumped a fence.
He jumped over a fence. He jumped the fence.
So-
and they lost him for a time
Let's
being.
set the stage.
Yeah. Yes. Set the stage to engage.
What?
A little t-shirt saying, if you will.
That's terrible. Don't say that to children. That's mean.
I know. I don't know why. Why would that be mean?
It's not
Set
mean.
the stage
because
to engage.
because it's so lame that it's mean to do that to them.
Okay.
So this is the Fantasy
I'll let
Suites
you have it. Yep.
episode. The Fantasy Suites episode, for those of you that have not been watching The Bachelor or following our journey through The Bachelor, is the one where they are allowed by the producers to have sex with each other.
No,
it's
they
a-
don't. They just have an
it's a-
intimate night
It's
together.
a big deal.
It's an intimate night.
It's
where
called
they
an
just get to have
overnight date
conversations with
in
no
bed.
cameras around.
No cameras, lots of liquids, and
I wonder when the microphones officially turn off.
about when it slips in. So it's
I'm just too tired to even do anything.
supposed to be the sex date episode. Of course, this is a big deal because our Bachelor this year.
Oh yeah, tell me about it,
I don't
Scott.
know
What
if you've,
happened?
I don't know if you've heard.
No, I haven't.
They've
What's
been
up?
keeping it pretty down low.
Okay, so what's the secret?
He's a virgin.
No way.
Yes, he's a virgin.
Is he really?
He is. He's
When
a
did we find that out?
virgin. Literally every single episode of the season.
But I missed
multiple
that.
times
When did
per
they say
episode. Constantly. Constantly.
Well, I just
So this was supposed to be it. This was
know
going to
how
be the
that
big
happened.
moment where Colton
Yeah.
was going to lose his virginity on a TV show.
yeah,
And
because that's what they signed him up for.
hey, Elise,
Yeah.
did that happen?
No, it didn't. You want to know why?
Why
Because
didn't
the
it not
girl
happen?
that was constantly accused this entire season of not being there for the right reasons and not ready for an engagement in the end. Oh my gosh, guess what?
What did she do?
She's not ready for an engagement in the end, Scott.
No way.
Can you believe that all of these women tried to warn Colton about it And he didn't believe them. And he just kept her around because he thought for sure, no, she has to feel this way about me. And you know what?
She don't.
You just got to listen to the women sometimes when it's a repeated thing that multiple women are saying that are not really friends in the house and they all say the same thing.
Yup.
I think that there has to be some, inkling of truth to that.
You got owned, Colton. So
Yep.
yeah, so this is the weird thing about this though. So first he
Yeah,
has
what's weird?
What's the one lady he had the first date with?
Tasha.
Tasia.
Yeah.
He had this date with Tasia, and she loves him.
Yeah, she really likes him for some reason.
And they had this wonderful date, and they went back to the fantasy suite,
Yeah.
and the
Ate
show's
almonds.
the show's playing this up like this is it. This is the moment he's
It
gonna
could
lose his virginity.
It could be.
And then we cut to the next morning, and Tasia goes, "Well, that was interesting."
Yeah.
And then they say in not so many words, they did not bang. There no sex. There was no sex in the fantasy suite that night.
Yeah, none.
And we're a little
Just
confused.
a lot of
We're like,
conversation.
why not? They seem to really
Other things, I'm sure.
What would be going on with Colton that he wouldn't have slept with this lady?
I told you what it is. It's just a little tiny problem.
Elise thinks Colton has a micro penis, which is mean, but possible.
You never know these things.
We will not be sued for slander. We're not saying that it's true. It's
We're
just what we've
speculating.
heard.
It's got speculation. And Lisa's too.
So then he goes on the second date, and remember, there's 3 women here still.
yes,
so this is
there
only
are
the
3.
second date of 3 that are supposed to be.
And the third one is my favorite that we haven't even seen at all this entire
Well,
episode.
who the fuck cares about her?
America. America cares and is going to hopefully have her as the next bachelorette.
So the second date, Cassie, right? That's her name.
Yes, Cassie.
Cassie. I can't believe I'm the one leading this section, but
You know what? You took it over because you really do like the show. We're
because
just
I
all
like that he
pushing.
jumped the fence as well.
Yes.
So Cassie is the one whose father Colton asked for permission to marry her last week, and he went no.
And he was really mean about
And
it.
he
There were
went-
2 dads that said
he
no, and he was just really mean.
He went no.
But then also the whole conversation between Cassie and her dad was just so I don't know if it was just as awkward. I don't know exactly how I would describe it other than it was uncomfortable for me to watch because you knew that their relationship did not seem very healthy.
Are you talking about the one tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's.
And
I mean, well,
then-
that's. We haven't even gotten to that part
Well,
yet.
oh no, I'm talking about the conversation that his daughter, the dad that came tonight had a conversation with his daughter last week at hometown dates that I thought both of them handled very poorly in their communication to each other and did not treat each other very kindly. And had you talked to either of your parents like that and me seeing that type of conversation, it would have completely shifted my entire perspective of you. And so seeing that, I just, it made me not like her.
So this week,
Yeah, this week.
he has
Tell me
a
about it.
conversation with her and tells
Yeah.
her, "I asked your dad for permission."
Oh yeah, Colton talked to Cassie.
He didn't give it to me. Here's the weird thing about this timeline, Elise. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to do a little timeline
Yeah.
investigation
Oh
here.
yeah, you just string those things together for me.
They're in Portugal,
Yeah, they are.
and they made it seem like they had the conversation where he didn't get permission.
Yeah,
She got really upset.
yeah.
Then the date breaks for like the mid-afternoon. Like they do like
Yeah.
an afternoon thing, and then they break.
Well, they gotta go back to
and
the
then they
hotel to
do
get
a
changed.
and they do
Yeah.
the evening thing. So
Yeah.
in between that time,
Mm-hmm.
her father is suddenly in Portugal.
Oh no, I mean they totally flew him out beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Absolutely, they
Had
did that.
Colton not brought the conversation up, the dad would have just come unannounced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And I was just really
definitely.
thinking it was just really, but yeah. Anyway,
And you know what? Bonus cash to that producer that orchestrated that event. You
Oh, yeah.
know there was a bonus in there for them.
so the dad comes.
Bravo.
The dad comes, and to the show's credit, I
Yeah.
see the dad here, and
Yeah.
my first instinct is here is okay. This is going to be the reconciliation moment. The dad is going to say, "I didn't give permission, and I've been feeling bad about it, so I asked them to fly me out here so I could give my permission in person, and so you two could move on because
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and that's what I think the show would have done in the past."
Not this
That's
time.
not what happens this time, folks.
Yeah, no, not this time.
Because what the dad actually does is systematically dismantle his daughter's feelings towards
Yes,
the bachelor.
yes.
And look, I don't really believe that they have very strong feelings. I've talked to you about this. It's way too quick of a time. I am fully with the dad on this. But he comes in with this.
If you know, you would know.
Look,
and if you had any doubts,
yeah,
then it's wrong.
This is a podcast partially about marriage. It is about our marriage and about how one of the things we do to strengthen our marriage is to share the entertainment we love together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the only way a marriage can work is if both people have zero doubts about anything in the future. And that's the bullshit narrative this guy was spinning. It was like, if this person was your soulmate, so you wouldn't have any doubts. Fuck that. That is not true. I love you. I am so happy I married you. I think we will be together for the rest of our lives. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there weren't moments where stuff pops in your head and you're like,
oh yeah, like what, Scott?
Oh, shut up. I'm not going to go down.
Oh no, this is all about marriage and our marriage. Okay. So why don't we just go there,
marriage
Scott?
Counseling time. Well, Elise, there was this one time you did this one thing, and it got me sent a spiral.
What was this thing?
We're not doing this, Elise.
But you thought about that one
didn't
thing.
Actually,
and we're going to discuss this a little bit later.
All right.
Off air.
I'm in trouble, guys.
My thorn this week, guys. I'm just kidding.
The point is, that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. And he's sitting here coming from the place like, me and your mother have been married, and I never had any doubts. I don't believe that. That's revisionist history. It's stupid. And whether or not she is actually ready to marry this dude or not, I think that's the wrong tact to take. He went there to convince her because he didn't like this stuff.
It's
and
true.
That's fine. That's fine. But that's what happened. And so she goes back to the dude and basically says, I'm not sure enough. I'm out. I'm going. And that's when our boy, Elise, boy basically...
Tell me about it.
Basically removes the veil of the show and says, you're the one I want. There's 3 women left. He says, don't care about those 2. You're the one I wanted to end up.
Yeah.
And it's my funniest part about this whole thing was her response to them is, how can you say that with 2 women still here? And he can't
contractually obligated to not say
answer
anything.
that question.
Yeah.
Like, that's the funniest part is like the real answer is because it's a TV show and they're making me keep these other 2 girls until the predefined moment.
It's true.
But he can't say that to her. And it's just this really hilarious moment where you can tell he wanted to say it and he might have actually said it and they just chopped it. But so she leaves.
Yeah.
What he's like, I'm in love with you. You're the one I want. You're the one I chose. Like he is begging her. It's kind of sad, actually.
It is sad. But I mean, every single episode has had a woman leave him. Sometimes multiple episodes. And now they're leaving him again. And it's the woman that he actually cared. Like, what is wrong with him?
I don't know.
There is something wrong with him other than the fact that he acts and looks like a child.
Yeah.
That is 6 foot something.
No, yeah. This time we was like looking at apricots and dates.
Oh my gosh, no! It looks like a thumb.
Looks like a sausage. I'm not gonna eat that. Okay, 6-year-old. But yeah, I mean, this is normally when you're in the bachelor or bachelorette seat.
Yeah.
You are the one. You have the power. You're
Yeah,
the one
you
in control.
normally do.
The women or the men are coming to you, begging to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Not this time.
Not this one.
Basically pleading, begging this woman.
Itty bitty problem.
So she leaves.
Yeah.
And then he does.
Yeah. Then he jumps that fence.
So he goes in his room.
Gets his wallet.
Comes out with his wallet and his jacket and his phone, presumably.
Oh, yeah.
And
then he leaves.
And he's walking away. He rips,
somebody get Chris Harrison here.
he rips his microphone off.
What
and
is
then,
Chris Harrison gonna do?
Yeah, because they were like,
we
this is
gotta
gonna
have someone
be
in front of the camera.
this is gonna be a great fucking moment. Is Chris is gonna get to him, and they're walking, and you tell they they feel like they've trapped him because they're like
There's a fence.
He's walking up to a fence, and Chris is like, okay, here we go, and he's like Colton, and Chris is shifting into his I know I'm gonna be on camera moment.
Yeah.
And then Colton just fucking hops that fence.
What do you
and
think
is
Chris Harrison was
gone.
doing beforehand?
Just
You
probably,
think they're like taking bets, watching the
probably
footage
he's
and
probably
seeing?
nailing one of the other women.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyways,
And then in the most candid, the only real moment I've ever seen Chris Harrison in this entire show is when he turns to the camera and says, he just hopped the fucking fence.
Yeah.
And that's when the show ends because they can't find him. He's gone.
Well, there's a dog barking this way. Maybe he's here.
So that is the end of
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
So
Look,
here's,
I don't like the show.
I know
like
you
the
don't,
show.
you liked this episode
This was some good TV.
because it was actual
some good
reality
TV.
TV. It's amazing when
good
it's
TV.
real reality TV that you're able
Well,
to
it
watch.
could have been all orchestrated. Like they could have told Colton to do it. They show they make this big to be continued. Like we can't find him. Where's he? We can't find him. And then they show scenes from next week's episode, and it's like they found him. Like
Yeah.
they're just right. He's 20 feet down the road. Like come on. But I don't know. Like even if it is scripted, it's well scripted for one of the first times ever, and I got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I wish
So-
they hadn't have like built up the fence jump thing since.
Yeah, because everybody knew it was
day
going to
one.
happen, and it hadn't happened yet. And they're like, "Oh, it's going to happen in this episode."
I mean,
And
the
yeah.
whole episode, I was like, "Here we go! Any minute now, he's gonna jump that
I
fence."
know you literally
He's
paused
gonna jump that
the
fence.
episode to see how much time was left because you thought he hasn't jumped the fence
It's-
yet. When is he going to jump
it's
the
a-
fence?
it's
There's
an-
20 minutes
It's
left.
20 minutes left in this episode. When's he gonna jump that
Yeah.
fence? And he did it. So that's The Bachelor.
Okay,
it ends
so
next week.
I've been trying to say it for the past couple times and just letting you talk that the only reason that Cassie went on the show is because her sister's trying to make it in Hollywood. Her family lives in California. Her sister's an actress dating some guy that's an actor, is part of this whole whatever world, went to the Oscars party, like that sort of Hollywood scene.
The whole whatever world.
Yeah, whatever.
I haven't heard of the whole whatever.
Yeah,
world.
it's a pretty cool world, whatever. But anyways, so this whole stunt is a ploy for the entire family to get publicity.
That's libelous talk there.
Well, then why would the dad come? If not for publicity.
Because they called him and said,
Why would the daughter come? Because they're fame whores.
"Babe, everybody on this show is a fame
I
whore."
know, but definitely her, and it's frustrating because you know what? People's real emotions were at stake here. I don't like Colton, but what she did to him was horrible.
This is 30 attractive as fuck people coming on a television show because they can't find love. It's all bullshit, babe. They're all fame whores. Stop acting like this woman is any different from any of the other women. The only difference is some of them actually go through with the marriage.
Or take a 3-year-long engagement and then break up.
Wait, who did that?
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn?
Yeah, I remember Caitlyn, the first, was that the first Bachelorette that you ever watched where it was the two people and then they had to choose between, at the very first episode, it was
I
which,
don't know.
she had the tattoos on the back. She was
Did
really
she
tiny.
marry-
And she was
she's
the one,
with angry Ryan Gosling?
well, not anymore. I know.
I'm
Did you not know that they
shocked.
broke up?
No, of
Now
course
she's
I
dating
didn't.
someone who's significantly younger than her and was also part of the franchise, and it's being blasted all over social media, and it's really traumatizing to fake Ryan Gosling. It's really sad.
I'm shocked.
I know.
She's also had a lot of work done.
Yeah, she looks like she has. It's kind of not cool. Anyway,
Can
so
we
that was
talk
the Bachelorette
about-
brother. So Scott, let's talk about the best part of the episode, which is our Rosies and Thornies.
It's the resurrection.
It's the Ronies and Thornies show.
Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus. We're going to start with thorns.
Thorns. Yes, starting with thorns.
Thanks,
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Sammy.
Fowler.
Sammy.
Fowler.
It's both.
It's Fowler.
He's not like being secret. Sammy's my friend who also listens to the show. He's Fowler in our Discord. And the other
And now you just spoiled it for everybody. Now they know his real name.
they already know Elise, and he doesn't care.
They know his real name. Now they're going to all come after him.
Sammy really narrowed it down there.
Ah!
He's the one that suggested that we do Thorns first, and I had forgotten that. And he listened to the episode the other day, and he was like, "Scott,
Had we known it was his idea, then we wouldn't have really done it.
yeah, it's too late now."
We would have been
We've
like,
committed.
ugh, Sammy thought of that? No.
What's your thorn? babe?
Man, last week was a long week. was it really any longer? No, the same amount of hours, but man, it felt long.
I'm glad you had to clarify that. Elisa's thorn is last week, mysteriously, more hours got added to the week.
Well, I guess it did feel like mysteriously more hours because I was awake for more of the hours than I normally am. You know, I had Monday night and Tuesday night were both really late nights, and so it just threw my whole week off. And it was just, there was a lot that happened. And when so much happens in 1 week, it's just very exhausting. So it was a long week.
Is it at the end?
The end. What was your thorn, Scott?
Well, I was going to say the fact that the weekend was so rainy. But your thorn was so lame, I need to audible. And you know what my thorn is?
What?
Kate Beckinsale and Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
No.
I love them so much together.
No.
Why do you not like that?
Because Kate Beckinsale is one of the most beautiful creatures on the planet.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson.
And you know why?
I just want one episode where you don't talk about penis sizes. I just want one week where we can get through the show without you talking about penis sizes.
This is not me talking about this. This is the world.
You're the one bringing it up.
This is what the world says. This is why she's with him. Massive.
That's very shallow. Kate is a very deep, complex woman.
Yeah, something's deep.
I love how you say you won't cuss on the show, but you'll do stuff like that.
You might need to edit that out.
I don't think so. I don't think it's happening. So it's just this parade of absolutely beautiful women that continue to date Pete Davidson and Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I love the picture that they had cropped out Anthony, and then you find the picture where he's actually sitting there with them
It feels so
at the game.
uncomfortable.
That is so wonderful.
Did you ever see that movie Click with Adam Sandler?
No.
Well, in that movie Click with Adam Sandler, he's married to Kate Beckinsale.
And you're
I
thinking the
was
whole
like-
time why?
And I was like, bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. And now, Pete fucking Davidson. So now all of a sudden, Click
Yeah.
feels like it's possible.
So what do you call this?
Ow.
I'm just kidding.
Ow.
What? I'm a little feisty tonight.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
What's your rose for this week?
Spring Break. Not the movie next week.
But yeah, it's next week.
Yeah.
Not this week or last week.
You got to see the light at the end of the tunnel and run towards it sometimes.
So what's your rose going to be next week?
Spring
You
Break.
can't do it twice. That's cheating.
Well, there'll be something that I do during spring break that'll be really excited about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Not go to San Francisco. That's definitely not what we're
Yeah, I
doing.
thought about making that my thorn, but I forgot. So,
Oh, you forgot? Huh.
yeah, I forgot that it's spring break, so I forget when to make the tickets. So then we
We
mess up the trip and we don't get to go to San Francisco. And now Scott's not planning anything for us to do over spring break. So it's going to be a really dull, boring week. Thanks.
I planned something for us to do over spring break.
What?
It didn't work.
What did you plan?
I planned for us to go to San Francisco.
No, I planned for us to go to San Francisco.
It's where my cousin is at.
Yeah, but who thought they found the right tickets?
It's not really. Is that something you want to take? You want to
Yeah.
take that? All right.
Yeah, I
cool.
do.
At least my rose.
Oh, yeah. Please tell me your rose. We hadn't done that. I'm sorry.
I've been watching Smallville again. Remember when we watched it for
About
that
to view?
episode? Yeah. I've been going through and watching it, and I'm on the second season now, and I love this stupid, goofy
Good.
little
I'm glad
show.
you like it.
What was that?
What?
Are you upset with the fact that I'm watching the show?
Nope. JTT all the way.
It was one episode.
I know. If he was in the whole series, then I might have watched it.
I love this stupid, silly little show. I loved it when I was in high school, and I still love it today. The dialogue has not aged well, although I love that. I love their attempts to make Lex Luthor sound very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite line in the show that I've seen so far is like, "Mr. Kent, ever since I've." It's from Lex Luthor. It's like, Mr. Kent, ever since
yes.
I've been here, I've been nothing but nice to you, and all you've offered me in return is sanctimonious platitudes. Well, I'm done listening to them. I'm like, okay, nobody actually talks like that.
Correction. Cheryl Blossom talks like that.
I'm sorry, what?
Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale. She talks like that.
Yeah, thank you for proving my point.
So lots of TV characters talk like that.
Oh,
So don't say no one does.
Oh, Matthew Perry died. That should have been my
Luke
thorn.
Perry.
Luke Perry, thank you. Matthew
Yeah.
Perry is still alive.
He's still
Sorry,
alive.
Matt.
Well, yeah.
Luke Perry. Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah, it is sad.
Riverdale is gonna have to figure out what to
I
do.
don't know what
That's
they're gonna
sad.
do.
They're gonna write him out. Sadly.
Write him out. You don't think they'd cast someone new?
No, I think they're
They
gonna.
should have
I
killed
think
off
they're
the
gonna-
character with the black hood when they had the chance.
I think they're gonna do a very wonderful tribute to him. He's 52 years old, babe.
Man, that's not
It's
old.
not that old. That's 19 years from me. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Anyway, I love Smallville.
It's a pretty good one.
This was a messy as shit Rose and Thorn.
You know, sometimes it happens that way.
You're probably not going to hear all of it. We're going to have to do some excising.
Nice
Elise
editing.
said some naughty and mean things.
I never.
All right, Elise, let's
Yeah.
move on to the main event and let's
Yes.
talk about Face Off.
Yes. You know, you thought that I didn't look up any trivia for this movie, but I did.
Face Off.
I did.
Okay, so here is the summary
Mm-hmm.
of Face Off as written by my beautiful, wonderful wife.
Yep.
That is really mean to me sometimes. John Travolta tries to stop Nicolas Cage from blowing up the LA Convention Center.
Pause. Notice I do say John Travolta and Nicolas Cage because there are no characters that are being played in this movie. It is John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Incorrect. There is Sean Archer and there is
No.
Castor Troy, and those
No.
names are very important.
No, it's John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
After Nick Cage is put into a coma, John Travolta has surgery and takes his face off. He then goes to prison to learn where the bomb is, but Nicolas Cage wakes up with no face because it was taken off.
Ah, yes.
He has surgery and now looks like John Travolta. They are both after each other. I fell asleep. Boat chase. Lots of action. Nick Cage dies and John Travolta gets his face and family back. They adopt another son. Face touch. The end. The face touch Elise is referring to is the John Travolta signature waterfall face where he just awkwardly runs his hands down someone's
Which,
face.
trivia,
Trivia.
that's where they got the idea for A Star is Born.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. A Star is Born got the trivia. They thought about the whole thing with the face, with the nose, based on Face Off.
What's your source?
IMDb.com.
I don't believe you.
Fine, don't believe
I
me.
do not believe you. That is
Fine.
the most
Don't
fucking
believe me.
ridiculous thing I ever heard.
John Travolta, lasting legend. Face off. Nose off.
All right. So this is a 1997 movie. It came out in the heyday
It's
of the
not
90s.
true. I made it up.
Of course it's not true.
But I did pretty
course it's
good,
not
right?
true.
I sounded convincing for a bit.
Sure.
I thought about waiting till the end of the show, but then I thought I might have forgotten to really correct it, and I didn't want people to believe that I said something that wasn't really true. So I had to stop right for a second.
So this is a movie directed by John Woo. John Woo, who also directed Mission Impossible 2. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I have seen that one.
He also directed a movie called Broken Arrow that had
Not seen that one.
and Bullet in the Head. He's an action director and he likes doves. If you're watching an action movie
Doves?
and you see doves
Is he
in
a
it,
magician?
no.
Ugh.
And you see doves in it, well, you know that it's a John Woo movie. So this movie, 1997, this was back in the days of the roaring 90s where America had decided that everything was awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Nothing bad was ever going to happen, and we all had
Everything is
money.
cool when you're part of a team.
And so what do? We make movies
About blowing things
where
up.
people just take their faces off and then fight each other.
Which, not possible.
Okay, yeah, Elise.
Not possible to surgically remove someone's face. You have bone structure you have to deal with. And you know what? Yes, you said they addressed that in the show. No, cannot happen. Cannot happen. Oh yeah, we're just gonna take this little part of your body and we're just gonna get rid of it and tuck it, and then don't worry, it's all completely reversible. No. Facelifts, not reversible.
We're like 30 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
And Elise's incisive critique is, you can't just take someone's face off like that. Who cares? Who
You
cares?
know,
Elise?
actually, I think that they have done face transplants.
They have. They've done face transplants.
Yeah, so technologically speaking, yeah, sure, you can take someone's face and put it on someone else's body, but you can't do it like what they did in the movie. It's not possible.
That's weird because I saw it And Nicolas Cage was clearly John Travolta, and John Travolta was clearly Nicolas Cage. I mean, you saw
So
the acting.
let's talk about this for a second. Had this been an Oscar-nominated movie,
Okay,
and let's say,
stretch. It's a stretch.
let's say, Nicolas Cage was nominated. Would Nicolas Cage have accepted the award, or would John Travolta have accepted the award because John Travolta is pretending to be Nicolas Cage?
I feel like you're overcomplicating this. The award goes to the actor, not the character they're playing.
No, but John Travolta was Nicolas Cage.
No, John Travolta was acting
No.
like Nicolas Cage, acting like John Travolta.
They switched faces.
Babe, oh God. Oh, I don't know. They didn't really do that.
What?
It's a movie.
No, I saw their surgery. They switched faces.
No, it's fake. Oh no.
But then who gets the Oscar?
The actor.
But
This point is very moot because this is not nominated for any awards.
yeah, I would never be nominated for an award.
But you know what? These two fine, upstanding actors did weeks of a very close and personal study to learn each other's habits.
Did they really?
They did, and Nicolas Cage version of John Travolta is like the most hilarious, whiny little shit. Like if I'm John Travolta, I would be like, "Fuck you, buddy." It's like so. And John Travolta is kind of crazy himself, so his version of crazy Nick Cage is just, wee, what a predicament. It's so stupid.
You know what would be funny?
What's that?
Would be if we spent an entire episode trying to pretend to be each other.
We should have done that. We should have done that.
You should have
it's too
introduced
late
it
now.
and been
Yeah,
like,
it's too
"Hey,
late.
everyone."
Please go ahead and do me. Go ahead.
No, I can't pretend to.
Go ahead. Pretend that I'm you. So act like me.
Come on, Elise. You got to do the podcast. You got to.
It's fucking terrible. Oh my God. That's awful.
Come on, Elise. You can't blow the mic. You got to talk softer, Elise.
That's
Come on,
your
Elise.
impression of me?
Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Come on, let's hear your impression of me.
You suck, Scott.
What?
You're the worst.
Why is my voice deeper?
Because I have a high voice. You have a high voice.
I love how. Hang on. Hang on here. When you impersonate me, you make your voice deeper. but when I impersonate, oh, gross.
Elise is laughing uncontrollably, and she just got snot all over the microphone. It's so gross,
I feel
guys.
like I've had boogers in my nose all day. I tried to blow them and they didn't work. But when I impersonate you, my voice gets higher.
I know. I have a high voice. I'm not ashamed of it. It's the way my voice is. I can't do anything about it.
Well, no, sometimes I guess I get a little, but maybe it is a little.
I mean,
higher.
all your impressions of most people are.
Yeah. Hi, I'm John Travolta.
Hey, Elise, face
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
So the year is 1997. I'm
Yeah.
12 years old. Obviously, I did not see this movie in theaters because it is a rated R movie. But you know
Was
what?
it really?
Yeah, babe. They took their face off.
Oh, well, you know.
And they said the F word.
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah.
And it was a Nicolas Cage movie.
That just automatically makes it rated
Yeah,
R.
because he's crazy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I forget who showed me, like, this movie came out on home video. I saw it somehow before. I shouldn't have been able to see it, but I did.
Some sleepover.
I fucking loved this movie.
I'm sure you did.
It is crazy. It is stupid. The action scenes are ridiculous. Nick Cage is like going nuts. John Travolta is going more nuts. And actually, the thing that is a bummer about this movie is Nick Cage actually enjoyed playing Castor Troy more than he enjoyed playing Sean Archer. And he he wished he could have done the whole movie as the Castor Troy character. Yes. And you can see that if you watch the movie, because when he is at the very beginning of the movie, he's pretending to be the pastor in the choir.
Oh my gosh, loving his life.
And it's just so absurd. Like, this movie is just like, go do whatever you want. The line in this movie I want to take his face off. That wasn't in the script. That was the Nick Cage improv. And they're like,
The arm was the improv or the line was
both.
the improv?
Both.
So then did they rewrite the entire scene to make all the other characters say face off?
Yeah. Because they
Did
were
they
like,
really?
I mean, they didn't rewrite the screen. They were just going with it because it didn't make any sense. You want to take his face off? Yes. I'm going to take his face off. He just said the name of the movie. He just said the title of the movie in the movie. And everyone's like, you can't do that. And then they just kept it in because that's what this movie is.
I feel like if I were a director, I would hate working with Nicolas Cage. And you know who you've never seen work together?
Who?
Aaron Sorkin and Nicolas Cage.
They make very different kinds of movies.
Exactly. And Aaron Sorkin makes good ones that have good lines.
I will not stand for that. This is a good movie.
Scott.
This is a fucking
Scott.
Elise, they took each other's faces off and became
But they didn't really take each other's faces off. You just told me it wasn't real.
in the world of the movie, they did.
Wasn't
in
real,
the world
Scott.
of the movie.
Wasn't real.
John
Doesn't
Travolta
count.
is acting like Nicolas Cage is in his body, and he's going to the FBI and pretending to
So
be an
Freaky
FBI
Friday's
agent.
a good movie, Scott?
Yeah, it is. It's a great movie.
Is it?
It's a great movie. Lindsay Lohan's finest work.
Is it now?
Sure.
What about Jamie Lee Curtis?
Halloween's better.
Exactly. You don't like these types of movies.
Why are you saying exactly like you just proved?
I did. I did.
Tell me what you didn't like about this movie. If you're gonna be high and mighty with your, I am too classy for this. I like
Scott.
intellectual films. I do not. The doves were just not realistic, and the speedboat chases and it's not. Please tell me.
I don't like Nicolas Cage.
That's it.
And I hate John Travolta. They're both just. When you have a movie that just encourages them to act as absurd as they are, and my reasoning for not liking them is how absurd they are, then no, I'm not going to like the movie. But what? But what?
They took their faces
But what?
off.
You can't just keep saying the same lines,
Yes, I
Scott.
can.
You're
Yes, I
Coltoning
can.
the whole episode. You're Coltoning the whole episode.
That's too far. You took
It's-
it.
it's
You crossed
true.
a line.
It's true.
I'm gonna go jump a fence.
Okay, you go jump the fence. I would love to see you jump the fence. Can you jump the fence?
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah, I do.
This was nominated for an Academy Award.
Oh, it was. What
Yeah.
was it nominated for?
It was nominated for sound editing.
Ah,
There you go.
interesting. Not
Good-
acting.
Good explosions.
Interesting. No directing, no acting, no screenwriting, might I add, you know?
Excuse me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It won the Saturn Award for Best Director.
Ah,
It does not.
Saturn, another planet, has to acknowledge it. Not on Earth.
It got the Golden Trailer Award for the Best Trailer of the Decade. And also Best On-Screen Duo at the MTV Movie Awards 1998. John Travolta, Nick Cage, Point Proven, Best Movie of the 90s.
MTV Movie Awards,
Yeah,
Scott.
MTV.
MTV.
You want to know what was bigger than MTV in 1997?
Uh-huh.
Nothing.
It's because there was nothing else. You can't say that it's best because there's nothing else
Elise?
to compare it to.
I don't know what more you want in this movie. He's pretending to make out with his wife even though that's not his wife.
Yeah.
He has this really creepy scene with his daughter who's wearing panties in her bedroom, and then he like sees it, but like he doesn't not hit on her, but and I know it's not really him because he's actually. It's very confusing, Elise. And don't tell me that this movie isn't deep. Don't tell me this movie isn't deep because Castor Troy. What's Castor Troy's brother's name, Elise?
Oh, you were saying something about with Greek mythology.
Yeah, his name is Pollux Troy.
Yeah.
Castor and Pollux. Those are two stars in the Gemini constellation, Elise. What is the diametrically opposed constellation to Gemini? Is that Sagittarius? What is he? Is he an archer? Oh, the movie goes deeper. Sean Archer versus the Gemini twins.
So the characters are named after stars.
Yes!
Wow.
You're ruining this for me. You're ruining
What does that
this
have to
for
do
me.
with the plot of the movie?
Everything.
Does
It
it?
shows how they're diametrically opposed.
So are there boats in outer space?
There are boats in outer space. They're called spaceships, Elise. They're space boats. Boom.
Okay.
Hey,
Touche.
Elise,
What?
did you notice the two characters' blood types? When they were like, because you know how the blood type is the only way to detect him, and Sean Archer had
No.
what
I must have missed that when I was sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem here. That's why I'm having to do most of the talking here, because you just slept in the middle of the movie. Well, Sean Archer's blood is
yes.
O negative, which is the universal donor. Castor Troy's is AB positive, the universal receiver, which shows that while John Travolta's Sean Archer is giving to society, Castor Troy,
He takes.
he just taken away.
He just takes.
The symbolism in this is a rich.
It's amazing.
The subtext.
Man, if you
the
just
subtext.
had a whole semester that you could study this one film.
Ladies and gentlemen, I announce my newest podcast show.
Masterclass with Scott Daly.
Face Off, a minute at a time. We're going to go through this movie minute by minute, scene by scene. We are going to investigate why this works. You're probably wondering, why are the doves in this scene? That's a weird place for doves to be.
But if you count the feathers,
It's actually
how many
a
feathers are on
rumination
each dove?
on the death of innocence as the daughter pulls out the butterfly knife and stabs her own father in the leg and twists
Interesting.
so it doesn't seal the doves. This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Do you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
No.
This is the stupidest fucking movie. I love it. I love it so much.
I'm glad you love it,
it's so
Scott. I'm so
stupid.
glad.
It's
You were
so
like
stupid.
doing so good. You picked two movies back to back that I really liked, and then you picked this one.
Yeah, you turn to me in the middle of this movie
Yep.
and you just look at me and you just shake your head. And I'm like, "What's wrong, Elise?" And you're like, "You were doing so good.
You were doing so good.
doing so good with
So
your movie
good.
picks."
And then you just completely failed.
We're gonna. I feel like it has to become a tradition to watch this movie once a year.
No.
Do you know why the movie has the slash in it? Face slash off?
Why?
Because John Woo was worried that if it didn't have that in there, everyone would think it was a hockey movie. You know what a face off is in hockey?
I do know what a face-off is in hockey, and I'm
You're
wondering.
just looking at me like you didn't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm just looking at you like, do you really think that these two men would be in a hockey movie about hockey?
Yeah, I do. Did you know they both actually played hockey professionally for 3 years?
Scott,
They were on different teams.
is this a Star is Born trivia?
John Travolta was on the Scientology hockey team, and Nick Cage was on the Church
Kabbalah.
of Satan the hockey team. So there we go.
Interesting.
All right, I think that's
Good
it
to
for
know.
Face Off, right?
Yep. We took this podcast off.
That's bad.
No,
What you just did there, not
we
good.
took this podcast.
Doesn't make any sense. Elise,
Yeah.
next week we're starting a new theme.
New theme, guys.
We're done with faces.
New theme, done with faces, moving to places.
Oh, you
Faces
know,
and places.
Before we have to do one more thing. I forgot. We have to do connections. We have to take Funny Face and Face Off
yeah.
and connect them together.
Okay. So if you taken Audrey Hepburn's face and put it on Fred Astaire's body,
They would still be a creepy relationship.
They
It wouldn't
would
fix
be.
it. You want to know
true.
my connection between this movie?
what? What's your connection?
Fred Astaire and Audrey Hepburn and their creepy age difference. John Travolta as Nick Cage as John Travolta hitting on his own daughter.
Creepy age
Creepy
difference.
age difference.
Got some creepy age differences in there.
Creepy
yeah.
age different combo.
Yeah, that's true.
Old enough to be her father, actually her father. It's like they're meant to be paired together.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
And of course, they were both about romance. They were both about accidental child killing.
It's true. Murder of the innocence of the child
Yeah.
and Funny Face. No longer just a book keep.
Yeah, just a raggedy old
model.
bookkeep, now
Yeah.
a model.
Yeah.
And they both, I think the characters in Face Off would have done well with some empathicalism.
And the musical numbers in both were my favorite.
Yeah, I really
Favorite parts,
I really appreciated.
I did too.
I was at first when the tap sequence in Face Off started, I was like,
I know.
this really feels.
I was
out of
really
place.
kind of worried that the surgery was gonna, like go back and then their faces were gonna start falling off during the tap
Their
dancing.
faces would come off.
Yes, they would
Yeah.
fall off during
Yeah.
because tap dancing it's quite the vigorous sport, So,
I see.
but they stitched really nicely.
Yeah, it was
all the
it was
seams on
laser
there.
stitching. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
Zero
I did.
scars, no scars
Yeah.
at all.
It's incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing what modern science can
Yeah.
do.
No
And by,
scars on Audrey Hepburn's face.
By modern
either.
science, I mean 1997.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Elise. Next week on the podcast, we are
Yep.
doing Rock Hard. Hard
Rock Hard.
Hard Rock Rock Hard.
That's my rocker.
What movie did you? So this is one of those. This is I don't.
This is one of those things where Scott had a movie he wanted me to watch, so I tried to think of something that would work in order to get him to watch a movie, and then it's not the greatest, but
So what
such
movie?
is life.
What movie did you pick for Hard Rock Hard?
I picked Bye Bye Birdie.
Bye Bye Birdie.
Bye Bye Birdie.
A
Yep.
movie I've never seen.
Yep, it's a musical, guys. Get excited.
And I picked, which mine's kind of a musical. I picked Walk.
Okay.
I picked Walk Hard, a Dewey Cox Story, which is a comedy send-up satire of the entire biopic franchise. So if you wait till you see this movie, because you're going to look back at Bohemian Rhapsody and say, how did they make that movie seriously when a movie like Walk Hard existed? It's going to be great.
Chiclets. That's how.
So we will do Walk Hard next week, and then the week after
Okay.
that, we will do Bye Bye Birdie
Okay.
for our next part of the show, which is Hard Rock Rock Hard.
Let's do it.
So that is all we have time for this week. If you liked this podcast, maybe not this episode. This was kind of a shit show.
Was
but
it? That's not nice.
You can check it
I thought it was good.
and all the other shows we have over at doofmedia.com. Also,
yeah. Scott,
what do they do if they want to support us, Elise?
you know what, guys? Scott brought up a very interesting point. to me
Don't
this
you
week.
throw this on me.
Actually, Matt brought up a very interesting
Don't you
point that
put
I
this-
had not considered.
Don't you put this on him either.
When you listen to the podcast and you don't give the money, where do we get the money to watch the movies, guys? Huh? Not from you. So you're stealing.
Elise
You
is,
filthy animals are stealing.
Elise is trying the marginally successful be a jerk tactic for raising money.
When you don't give us the money, you're stealing from us if you're listening to the podcast. Money right out of my pocket. You know what? I could have bought a coffee with that. I could have bought a movie with that. I could have been somebody with that. But no, nothing.
So if you would like to very kindly, no means required, donate to this podcast, you can do it at patreon.com/doofmedia.
All means required.
You can donate $1 a month or whatever else you can afford to help us defray the cost of putting on this and all of
Let's
our
think
shows
about-
here at the network.
Okay. $1 times how many podcasts you've listened to without paying? That's your donation, guys. That's your donation.
She's really trying the jerk technique this week.
Do I have any other technique?
That's true.
Thank you.
And if you are listening via Apple Podcasts, please go over there and leave us a rating and a review. It really does help other people find the show. Do they want to find this episode? I don't know. Good, heavy editing. It's going to have to go on here. You guys might not even... It might be a 10-minute episode by the time I get through with it.
That'd probably be best for everyone.
All right, guys. We will see you all next week with our first episode in Hard Rock Rock Hard, where we're going to listen to Walk Hard, a Dewey Cox Story. I can't believe you didn't like Face Off.
Scott, I'm going to take your face off.
Oh, no.
Yep.